Okay. So, this is actually kind of interesting, isn't it? I'm going live before 9 o'clock in the morning, which I've never done before. But the reason why I'm finally managing to make time for this episode is because of a couple of reasons. I have work today at 10 o'clock, and I'm supposed to be getting ready to go. But usually, since I took a shower yesterday, before I left, all I really need to do is just wash my armpits and brush my teeth. That's it. And that takes all but 10 minutes to do. So, that means I have just enough time to squeeze this in before I go. And I needed to get this in. I had to get this in before the week ever started. And I should have. And I'm incredibly lazy when it comes to this content. But when it comes to the Pit Stop Show, I'm not. Because I've been doing it for years. I've been doing the Pit Stop Show for the last 5 years now. So, let's talk about this. This is no secret that Roman Reigns has just been this unstoppable force throughout the last 9 months that he's held the Universal Championship. It's no secret. No secret at all. He has shown it on every single pay-per-view. He has shown it every single week that he's shown up on SmackDown. This guy, in my opinion, I think has to be one of the best Universal Champions that we've had since Kevin Owens. As a heel champion, that is. Just to clarify it, as a heel champion. And I feel like when I say that he's like an unstoppable force, this version of Roman Reigns in some way, hear me out, kind of reminds me of Brock Lesnar, but better, because he's actually showing up every week. Instead of just Brock showing up just for a certain storyline, work their way up to the pay-per-view, and then be gone after that. Roman Reigns is full-time, which is what Brock isn't, or hasn't been, since his tenure with the company, his first tenure with the company back in the early 2000s. But Roman Reigns is full-time and has been full-time since he came up to the main roster in 2012, and even beforehand with NXT. So, Roman Reigns is one of those champions that does show up every week. He doesn't fight, well, to rephrase, he doesn't wrestle every week. He may not wrestle every week, but he shows up every week. Which, to me, I feel like as long as he just shows up every week with the title, that's okay. It's a lot better than what Brock would do, where he would just leave for about a few weeks, then show up again, and then after a pay-per-view, he'll just leave, and then he'll show up again for a certain storyline, and then he'll just leave, and then, just in time for SummerSlam. After SummerSlam, he just leaves. You know, it's kind of gotten ugly. He's just one of those champions that is not really that much of a fighting champion. He only is a fighting champion on just pay-per-views, and that's it. He has been, but even now, he hasn't shown up on WWE programming in over a year. So right now there have been articles coming out about when Lesnar was going to return. There were even articles of him possibly, oh, is he going to go back to UFC? Is he going to go to AEW? Is he going to show up here? Is he going to show up there? Listen, hang on 1 second, actually. I have a little bit of a phlegm buildup every time I speak, but anyways, there's no chance that you're going to see Brock Lesnar in AEW, unless if they're actually not using him the correct way, which that's not on Paul Heyman's watch. if he's gonna be used by the creative team, not on Paul Heyman's watch. Heyman usually is the guy that produces Brock Lesnar's matches, just from what I think, and he's usually the one that produces Roman Reigns' matches currently right now. But yeah, just Brock, there's no chance that Brock is going to show up in AEW. There's no chance that Brock, well, actually, there's a 50-50 chance that Brock could show up at UFC. Even though that's not a wrestling company, that's an MMA company, and there's no script there, it actually is real. It's actually real fighting where the fighters are actually throwing real punches and real kicks. I mean, don't believe me? The UFC 261. That's all I'm going to tell you. That is all I'm going to tell you. Oh my gosh, I still can't believe that even with what just with that certain clip that somehow just made it up on the internet. My gosh. And there's even no warning that says, okay, warning, graphic content. It might have been graphic if you really think about it, but all I'm just going to tell you is UFC 261 this year. That is it. But anyways, but WWE, I think they're going to pay Brock a crap ton of money anyway. So it only makes sense for Brock to just stay with WWE because he's only there just for the crap ton of money that they pay him. So there's still that chance that Brock is going to show up on WWE again. When, nobody knows. But until then, and until we possibly see that rematch between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, which, mark my words, that may possibly happen should Brock return. Roman Reigns is going to continue to hold on to the Universal Championship, and he'll continue to fight with the Universal title every week if he needs to. But like I said, the only thing that Roman Reigns trumps Brock Lesnar on is he's full-time and he's actually showing up every week with the title. So we're not seeing it within a certain time frame, like, oh, just in time for SummerSlam, and then he'll just leave. He's not showing up just in time for WrestleMania, and then after WrestleMania leaves. He's not showing up just in time for the Royal Rumble, and then after the Royal Rumble leaving. Basically, he's showing up every single week, and he's not. And like I said, he's not fighting. He's not wrestling every single week, but he's for the most part showing up every single week because he actually is full time. So I'm just gonna bookend this topic with this. Just at the end of the day, you decide who's the best Universal Champion. To me, it's currently Roman Reigns. He's the best Universal Champion since Kevin Owens. And I'm not discrediting Braun Strowman. I'm not discrediting the small little title runs that Goldberg had. I'm not discrediting Bray Wyatt. I'm not discrediting Seth Rollins. But I'm mainly focusing on the heel aspect of the champions. That's it. But yes, so that's about it for me. I gotta go get ready for work. Thank you guys a lot for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a like. And if you have not considered subscribing yet, I recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. And that about does it for me. I'll see you in the next one.